What are we trying to get to now?
Your transmission cylinder.
Okay.
Get this drive shaft out of the way.
That filter pretty much in the middle. There's it.
It's to the left side of the tractor.
Okay.
I mean, it's right. It's
Just off center.
yeah, just inside the frame, between the frame and your pump.
Okay.
Filter that come off doesn't have a part number on it, so I just need to make sure that I've got the right filter going back on.
Okay. That one does have a part number, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
On these compacts, a lot of times the filter that comes from the factory is not the same as what John Deere puts on it. So, you always got to check.
Put a different brand or something that doesn't have anything labeled on it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the hydraulic reservoir plug.
Yeah. It's a 13mm socket.
Okay.
Tube right here.
Okay.
Well, there's a filter screen on it about this long that goes through there, and on the initial service, you want to take it out and clean it because it can have some metal shavings in it and stuff like that. So you want to get it cleaned out. It's got this one bolt here that's holding this line in place. You got to take that out. That way you can move this enough to get that filter out of there.
All right. Has that got like a hose clamp on it, holding it in place?
No, it's just a bracket that's like welded to that steel line.
Okay.
And no clamp or anything.
Okay. I got it so dirty. Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
You just kind of
Ah.
one of these. You don't have a ton of room to maneuver, especially with the backhoe mount stuff on there.
Okay.
Like the
Backhoe frame, yeah. And the
like
ROPS.
On some of these that have the backhoe, you can't even get to this without completely taking the backhoe frame off. It has a kind of place that it sits in there.
Okay.
And then it's this cap that I pulled off. It sits inside of that too, so it's secured in place.
Okay.
But see
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? You get that stuff in there, which it's stopped it all. You know what I mean? And plus, there's magnets down inside of there to catch anything. But
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, that's after. You know, we'll clean this. You put this back in. I mean, you could take this out. You know, several hundred hours later, it's not going to look like that.
Yeah.
You know. You can kind of feel it. It won't push all the way in unless it's in the right spot on the other end. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Inside, it's gonna.
Yeah, it's got a little
Little lip or something
little
it's gotta
place
sit
where
on.
It sits, yeah, and if it's not in that, it won't push in. So
Okay.
you can't really screw it up.
Okay. Good to know. I heard the click. It seated pretty good. It sounds like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually like that way better than what I seen on YouTube. $17mm for drain plug, guys.
Yep.
That got it through.
And then on this, I'll go about 2.5, then I start checking it.
Okay. So you need an air gun or anything?
It ain't too bad. I thought there was some loose stuff in there.
Okay.
Wipe it out. These filter systems are just as good as what's on great big field tractors. So there ain't nothing getting in there.
Good.
Brake cleaner. Yeah, whenever if you ever change this filter here,
Okay.
you always they always collect dirt and stuff up here around the top. I always like to spray that stuff off before I open it up.
Gotcha.
I mean, you're taking it all apart. I mean, you can clean it out anyway, but I
Try to get it before it starts getting in
I
there.
try to keep it as clean as possible. This is I don't know if you've ever changed these type of filters before, but it's messy.
I have not.
Yeah, there's no clean way about it. All you can do is just put a pan, make sure you got a pan underneath and
Hope for the best.
let her fly. There ain't no way to...
Now it's got a fuel shut off too, though, right?
It does, yeah, it does.
So
But,
it's still going to drip a little bit.
yeah, you still get all the stuff that's kind of up in the
Canister.
head of that
Yeah.
housing.
Yep. That's it now. Dripping on out of there.
you got when you dump it out like this, you got a little spring and a float thing down in there.
Don't lose that.
Yeah, don't lose those into whatever you're dumping in.
You'll be going on a fishing expedition.
Yeah, I've been there plenty of times. And then it's got this O-ring right here. It's always good practice to replace this O-ring when you're doing that filter, because they get flattened out. So you're clean now, and you may, in the future after running this a lot, those things do. I mean, no matter how good at diesel you're getting, those things still start to get stuff in the bottom of them. So
Okay.
you just clean it out and go back together with it. That back, they tell you to change these annually.
Okay.
So no matter even if you use it a little bit, only use it a little bit, they tell you to change it yearly. So.
Okay. Doesn't look like that's an easy spot to get to, especially with that cab in the way.
The cab is what makes it more difficult on this one. Usually you can just come in right here and they're no problem.
Pretty open, yeah.
And you always want to make sure you get this thing good and tight.
Okay. So it's not like your oil filter that you...
Right, yeah. You definitely want to get this one.
A little more snug than the oil.
Yeah.
Go over much more. Yeah, there we go. Hard to get a good shot and not be in your way.
Yeah, it's
Pretty tight quarters right there.
it is. Now this clamp, I just take it clear off because you don't have very much room to work anyway. And I
Okay.
just get it out of the way.
Okay. And that's the one that holds it to the frame, right?
Correct, yeah. It wraps right around the filter.
Okay.
So just take the bolt out and get it off. Just try to find a good place to clamp it off. You don't have a whole lot of room to shove these clamps back, so you just gotta get them back as far as you can, and that's all you can do.
Is that just those squeeze clamps
Yes.
that they use on everything?
Yes.
Anymore?
Yep.
And they got a tool for that or no?
Well, for the clamps, I've just used regular pliers, but
Okay.
then I got these for getting inline filters off. There's 4 hoses, but these are,
Just kind of pry it apart.
yeah, just shove it in there. Yeah, like one end goes against the filter, and the other end kind of wedges against the hose and pops it off. They work pretty good.
Okay, cool.
They're not always perfect, but
I've done some hose work and stuff, and it's like, oh, God, it won't budge.
yeah,
That
sometimes,
would be-
yeah. I mean, before I had these, I'd always just use like a right angle pick or something to kind of get in there and work it around and then just pull it off by hand.
Yeah,
But
and it's still not as easy as what that would be.
yeah,
Not that that makes it easy, but it's easier.
Yeah. Especially in a tight spot, I guess. What this protects the electronic fuel pump.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay, I got you. So it is important then, otherwise it might
Yeah.
be fuel pumps.
Yeah. I guess if it, you know, if I had one of these, I think I would just I would keep it, but I would configure it differently. I'd figure out a way to make it a lot easier to change, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way you didn't have to go through this every time. But yeah.
Add a new hose in there, remove the
Something,
position
yeah,
of it.
get it, yeah.
Be able to pull it down a little bit and
Yeah.
be able to get to it.
Well, yeah, that'd make all the difference if you had more hose length where you could pull it down and actually work with it. One of them's on this U-joint up here on this main shaft running your pump, but it's a lot of times you got to get something to use, like a pry bar or something to spin it around, because usually the grease fittings point the opposite way when you need it.
It ain't wanting to play nice very much, is it?
Yeah. Maybe we get on it.
You get it? Still kind of up to the top of it.
Sort of, yeah. It's not that direction. There it is. I got it. This is the worst one to get to.
I was gonna say, I suppose I ought to be greasing that then, huh? So it don't wear out. Is there only one grease zerk there, or is there two?
Nope, there's just one.
Okay.
It's only on the back. There's not a. That's the only U-joint up here. It's just a fixed deal with no grease fitting on it.
Would that be easier to get to if that deck was lowered, the deck mount?
I mean, a little, but they're always a pain.
Okay. You almost need 4 hands, don't you?
Yeah.
What drive shaft was that?
This one here.
The one you just greased and
Oh,
pushed back?
that runs your mower deck.
Okay. So that's the mid PTO
This.
shaft?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then this one here that I'm doing is your front wheel drive. One up here too under this boot.
Does that have a spring clamp on that?
Yeah, but it just has this. It's got a hand thing on it, so you don't need a screwdriver or nothing. Just turn it by hand.
Okay. Easy peasy. Boy, isn't that handy?
Yeah.
See, it's just the little things like that that make life a little bit easier to deal with. Pick the head up and it makes it easier to get to the grease zerk.
Yep. Okay, that's everything on the bottom side.